The first early previews are out for Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, and bigger gaming outlets are currently sharing their thoughts on the upcoming Japan-inspired live sim JRPG hybrid that we are all waiting for so eagerly. I have been so excited to hear what everyone thinks, and today I'm sharing my thoughts on the game and what I think about the future of the series, especially since we're all hoping that Azuma is going to be even better than Rune Factory 5. Right now, it sounds like this new spin-off might finally deliver, and most previews I have seen so far have had nothing but positive things to say. Gamereactor says, "Everything about Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma works in its favor, and it seems Marvelous has finally discovered how a modern Rune Factory should look and play," which is absolutely great news. We need to keep in mind that Azuma is not meant to be the next mainline game. It is a spin-off title, but that doesn't make it any less important in my opinion. Maybe this spin-off is what the series needed in order to grow and figure out where it is headed. And what a better way to explore brand new and experimental features than in a spin-off environment. If Azuma is received well, I think there is a pretty good chance that we might see elements of it return in the future. And who knows, maybe even in the next Rune Factory 6. Since many of us are Rune Factory fans on this channel, you will hear a lot of comparisons to the previous game, of course. Most news outlets report that Azuma's mechanics and features have improved dramatically since the last game. This applies especially to aspects we were all very concerned about in the past, such as the graphics and performance, and it looks and runs a lot better than Rune Factory 5, both on the Switch and on PC. But improvements are not limited to the technical department. In Azuma, we are apparently also going to see a deeper simulation system, more elaborate building tools, and improved combat. I am particularly looking forward to the town customization, since we will have 4 different towns, one for each season, to fully develop from the ground up. I will keep the features brief in this video because I have already talked about them in detail before. So if you want to hear more, I highly recommend watching my other videos on Guardians of Azuma. Not mentioned so much in the previews, but pretty much stuck in my mind are the romance mechanics. With a whopping number of 16 romanceable and fully voiced characters, it is a feature that is hard to ignore, and it is definitely a highlight for an otome gamer like me. Bonding and interacting with characters will have so much more variety. Rather than just walking up to someone and triggering one daily repetitive dialogue, we get a whole social menu that lets us choose from different topics and interactions too. This will make us feel so much more connected to the characters, and it will make it feel more like a progressive bond that develops over time. The amount of dialogue lines is the largest ever in the series, with a story that will apparently sweep us off our feet, according to the English voice actors of Kaguya and Subaru in a recent livestream. The producer also recently talked in detail about the game and his favorite marriage candidates, so I might talk about that one another time if you guys are interested. Another interesting thing Gamereactor mentions is that Azuma is not the deepest sim game, and it is not the most complex JRPG, but the mix between both genres gives you a good taste of the best of both worlds, the relaxed nature of cozy sim games and the excitement of the JRPG adventure. And this is personally what I am so excited about, because no matter if you just want to play an RPG without pressure, or if you are a casual cozy gamer who wants to dip their toes into JRPG territory, I think Azuma will be a very versatile title that can appeal to a wide variety of players. Especially since we can dedicate our time to whatever feels the most fun to us, whether it is building and decorating, farming, romancing, or combat. It's got a little bit of everything, and I think that's actually pretty great. Also, it is heavily Japan-inspired, which is a first for the Rune Factory series. But I think a lot of Japan fans and anime lovers are going to be so in love with the atmosphere and the vibes. And me, being based in Japan, I am obviously so ready to dissect the game and see which influences they have incorporated. The Rune Factory series has a pretty long history, and it's been a pretty bumpy road, where at some point we thought that the next game, Rune Factory 5, would never see the light of day. So it's even more wonderful to see that now we have both Rune Factory 6 and Guardians of Azuma on the horizon, with such positive voices among the fan base and such hype surrounding both of them. The director Maekawa, who previously worked at Sega on Sonic, is still fairly new to the team since Rune Factory 5, but he is committed to growing the franchise for at least the next decade. I was actually pleasantly surprised to hear that he has been involved in the writing of the story and the dialogues himself, and it was his wish to make the protagonists romanceable too, a highly requested feature within the Rune Factory community. So it is very obvious he cares a lot about this series. Most of the criticism and issues in Rune Factory 5 have also already been addressed and promised to be fixed in Azuma. And I think Marvelous' ability to understand what we, the fans, want will certainly help the series grow in the future. This is also the very first time we get a global release for everybody on May 30th, 2025, with both English and Japanese voice acting included. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it. So if you are just as hooked as I am, do not forget to subscribe, because I will definitely have a review out and I'm going to share my thoughts with you guys again. But this is it from me. Have a wonderful day, lovelies, and see you in the next video.